Welcome to Acute Mania Live. We're a little bit behind today, but it's okay. It's fine. We had a little bit of technical glitchy things. You're muted, by the way, Cevret. But you're muted. There you go.
Hello.
You're back.
Yes, I'm back.
Today is another milestone for the show. I've been having these lately. It's a good thing. I love these little milestones. This is the first time I've ever had a band in Switzerland. Welcome.
Yes. Thank you, Scott.
Very nice to have you. Very nice to have you.
Nice to be here.
So I was wrong for a couple of weeks. It's not Cevret. It's actually pronounced with a G, so it's Cevret. So at least we got the things off the screen that we were having trouble with. We had this thing happening. He didn't like me right out of the gate. He kept giving me a thumbs down. There's there's like bubble reactions that come up on the screen.
Yeah. And technology is not, really
he's like, I don't want to not like you.
Technology is in every part of life, man. I mean,
what's going on in Switzerland?
Switzerland. What's going on in Switzerland?
Anything?
Dude, I mean, it's almost like storm outside right now. It's supposed to be like summer right now. I mean, it's like almost July, and it's so bad. It's dark.
Does it get hot there?
It's kind of hot today, but tomorrow is going to drop to 19, 20 degrees. I mean, Celsius.
Right.
Yeah. Have a different.
I should know the conversion rate by now. How to do that, but but
but it's now like 7 p.m. here. I mean, it's barely can see a bit. I mean, it's completely dark outside. No sun, nothing. It's just dark clouds and stuff. This summer we don't have any summer in Switzerland, unfortunately.
Really? Yeah. What's your favorite season? Anywhere really? What's your favorite season?
Spring for sure. I would say. It's
when everything starts, when the plants start coming back, and the flowers start coming back,
blossoming and so on. Nice weather, not too hot, right?
After everybody's been inside all winter and freezing to death and everything.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so I had a band on. Well, twice now I've had this band on, the Eternal Daydream. They're from Sweden, and the very first time that they were on, I posted a clip about this last week. The very first time that they were on, I don't know what was happening with my mind, but for some reason I thought that the Swiss Alps were in Sweden, and so I was corrected, and that's in Switzerland. So is it? Do you now the Alps? Like you can ski, like snow ski, and that's pretty much what it's known for. People,
Yeah.
tourism and stuff. People go there to ski. Do you do that? Do you partake in snow skiing?
Yeah, I go mostly snowboarding. I'm
Yeah.
not a pro on that, but yeah, I go for snowboarding, and that's a common activity here. I mean, mostly, people start when they were like a kid or so, they start already doing that
Yeah.
skiing, snowboarding, and it's for them, it's like, in some countries, like if you go to Brazil or something like that, or some Mediterranean country, you would see that everyone is playing football outside during the week. Football is a part of the culture, and here
Yeah.
is
Exactly.
skiing, snowboarding, or hiking, or mountains, and it's the part of the culture, man. It's just
Well,
exactly the same stuff.
when you're not skiing and when you're not snowboarding and you're not doing that stuff, you're jamming out on this music is crazy good. And I
Oh,
like I said, I found you just on the stories that crossed the top of Instagram, and I was like, this is good stuff. I need to, and plus Switzerland, I was like, I've got to get Switzerland a part of the group.
oh,
So
thanks, man.
this stuff is it just? I was kind of reading a little bit further about you, online and in your website and stuff, and this is mainly just your thing, right?
Yeah, it is my thing. It was just a dream come true, let's say. Let me put
I'd
it
say
that way,
so in a big
Scott.
way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I was, since childhood, I wanted to do my own album and so on. And yeah, it just came out like a couple of weeks ago. So
Yeah.
I'm super happy, huh?
How
Super.
is it doing on analytics? I know some people look at that stuff, some people don't. A lot of people just look at Spotify. I don't really pay attention when we put stuff out, but
I
have
I
you
do. I
have you
do
looked at it? Yeah.
that. I do have a look at it just to understand which, like how a particular song would perform.
Yeah.
And that's not an, I mean, I don't use that analytics for input to do something different, but it just gives a good indication, what song did well, or, it's an audience feedback, kinda. I know it's not that, but yeah, I do that. I check that, and it performs so well. So I mean, yeah, Spotify. I'm talking about Spotify.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
It's
Yeah.
like we hit like 150K streams of the
Nice.
album. I mean, that's
Hell
for
yeah.
me amazing, right? 150,000 streams
That's
for an
terrific.
album is just
That's
almost like
madness.
really, yeah, it's
That's
a dream come
badass.
true, man. I mean, really,
I guess
it's a nice
we'll
feeling.
dive more into the
Sure.
especially the songs that we're going to play. But
Yeah.
how did you get a hold of the people that you featured on these albums or on these songs? I'm sorry.
I mean, it actually starts with the first. I mean, I have to tell you that the first one is I have a friend called Matthias. He's actually from Sweden.
Ooh,
So
Sweden! I like Sweden.
yes, exactly. And he's my dear buddy, and I really like him. And we started this journey in 2019. So I mean, I produce the song, I perform, I write the song and everything else, but you need somebody to make it, sound nice and represent what you have in your mind, and that it could be represented the way that you want it to sound, right? So then we met each other online, and then the journey started on later on, and he's helping me out with the lyrics and so on. I mostly write the music, but he's on the lyrics and a bit on the more vocal side as well. But then once we finalized the songs, then we just I approached these featured vocalists. So I have like five featured vocalists, five songs, five different vocalists, and of course they were not my first tries. I tried many other vocalists, and some people are busy, some people have other schedules, some people just some vocalists basically says I don't do featured stuff, which is
Yeah.
totally fine. But I was lucky to get a hold on those five people, and one of them being Matthias, that by as my audio engineer, my kind of producer, and as a vocalist on the last song of the album called Castaway.
Oh,
But the others, I just talked to them, and then we started. They liked the songs. I mean, that's the important part, I would
I
probably
think they
say.
fit well too with how the album
Yeah.
tells a story, and I think they all fit in the certain song that they're doing too. You
Yeah,
know.
I also try to do that. I try to tailor pick those vocalists. It's not like a broadcast to everybody for every song, but when I had this song in my mind, and I had some kind of idea how it should sound like from the vocals perspective, and then I kind of identified some, potential vocalists, and I reach out to them, and then, then we started working with the ones that, are on board actually. So, but yeah, it was not that easy. It took some time and so on. I mean, if someone, is hearing me right now and want to do that, yeah, sure, but just
Yeah.
give it a try, and it will happen, huh? And they're really nice guys, actually. I had a lot of fun with working with
Did
every
any of
one of
them?
them.
This is kind of a funny question. Did any of them do like the very first time that they attempted, and gave you some like a sample of it? Was any of them just completely way off base? Not
No,
awful,
not at
but just
all.
way off base, and you're like, no,
Not
no,
at
no, no,
all.
no, no.
Not
Okay,
at all. I would say almost, I mean, especially in Blinded with Andy. I mean, Andy is a professional vocalist now from Monument. So
yes, that's
we
bad.
didn't
That's
even do
awesome.
a revision. It was that good. We didn't do
Wow.
any revision. On the other ones, we did maximum one more revision, and it was already there. So, I mean, the first versions were like 90% ready almost. And there were
That's
some minor changes because it's not because that they couldn't perform, but whatever, it's like it works like this. I write the vocal lines, and together with my friend we wrote the lyrics, and we send him a demo, which is my audio engineers doing that demo, like a singing wise, huh?
mhm.
And then, I mean, it's different. So what I have in my mind, what he sings as demo, and what the vocalist is, like understanding, or how he represents this, there's a chain, right? I mean, there's this
Yeah,
game, right? You talk to your ear, and then you say something, and at the end it becomes something different, right? So that's why only those little changes, it's more preferential changes rather than mistakes, or
right. Yeah,
something like that.
yeah.
All of them are just amazing vocalists, and I really do appreciate all of them too, that I
Sure.
had them on the album.
So did you did all of the guitar work on this?
Yeah, I do. I did guitar work, and like most of the songs I also played the bass guitar as well, because some of the songs are two drop and I had to program them. Unfortunately, I don't have that kind of infrastructure as a bass
Sure.
guitar, actually. And the drums are all programmed. I'm actually a drummer, but I mean, yeah, it's difficult to record the drums, man. I
Yes, it
mean,
is. Yes, really
it
is.
takes a lot of time, and it's just,
Mm,
yeah, it's just an efficiency measure to me. I mean, I would also love to have analog drums as a drummer. I love that. My main instrument is the drums, actually, not the
yeah.
guitar, but I would have loved to have them, but it's a very difficult and time-consuming procedure. So I just said, okay, let's
Yeah, it really
sample
is.
them, let's
And a lot of
program
people are
them.
using that nowadays.
Yeah,
They
it's
have a
fine.
drummer, but they use that on their album because it sounds so much better than to try to mic everything, and then you got to go through noise
Yeah,
gates and all. It's just
it
it's
is,
possible, but
man.
it's a lot of money too. A lot of studio money, a lot
It
of
is,
studio
and
time.
I mean, sometimes I also hear people. I mean, some people, I mean, this is just another band, programmed drums and same stuff, and it's not that. I mean, everyone has their own, like, guardrails, and or budgets, and infrastructure,
And then
or
the other thing is go see
right.
that band
I mean,
live, and I guarantee you, you'll see that drummer doing that stuff.
yeah, exactly. I
They
mean,
don't they
I
don't
onboarded
program
a
stuff they
drummer.
can't do.
Yeah, I onboarded a drummer now for my live sessions, because we will
Yeah,
still start live sessions, and he's just nailing it. He's
yeah,
just a
nuts.
beast. So
Sometimes it's even better,
perfect.
way better.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't know. I did kind of I had a complex with that when we first started our band stuff, but like no, we need to have you know a drummer on the album. No, well, then they start telling me about, well, this is what you have to do. This is what we have to do for that. I'm like, okay, well, yeah, I just, yeah, let's move on with the. Well, you heard it when you came on the thing.
Yeah,
That was
yeah,
all program stuff. And
yeah.
it's fine. It's
It
fine, and
is totally fine.
it's right there. It's
And
right.
I
It's
mean,
good. It sounds good.
I mean, yeah, yeah. Some people are taking that ideologically very strict. I understand that too, but I mean, on the other hand, when you look at this thing as very pragmatic, it's way easier, and it gives you a lot of possibilities. That's where the technology plays a good role, right, in music.
Yeah,
And
and they're
I
doing it right.
love
They're
to
doing it
use
right.
that. You
Yeah,
right? I mean, you just put two MIDI notes, and you have a great sounding drum beat, and you can write some stuff on it, or then you can fine tune and make it even in the album. So it's just
right.
amazing, right? Yeah.
And it
So why
allows you to
not?
practice at home without having the drummer there because you can just turn on
Yeah,
a beat.
exactly,
We do that
exactly.
all the time now
That's
because we don't.
exactly,
But yeah.
exactly, totally, totally.
So okay, so the story there's a story behind the EP,
Yeah.
and it kind of when I mow the grass here, I always I try to listen to one band. Sometimes I'll just play a playlist, but I wanted to listen to yours all the way through while I was mowing, just so I that
That's
gives
right.
me time to listen to it through it, and I don't pay attention to what I'm doing, and it's fine. I mean, because it takes a while. So I was gathering. I'm trying to read the lyrics as I'm mowing too, so that didn't really work out very good. But I have skimmed through them, and it tell us a little bit about what the story is, and how you came up with this idea.
Yeah, the storyline is actually, I I wanted to make some, I wanted to relay a message, that I mean, the message is just as we humans, humanity is just we're just, I'm sorry to say, but shitting on this planet somehow, and we are just shooting on our own legs or cutting on our own branch. That is the message that I wanted to give. And I was thinking about how could I represent it and so on. Then, to be fair, there was this, I don't know if you know, I mean, very transparently, there was a movie called The Perfect Sense. It's, I'm not sure if you know that as well. It's kind of influenced me, that movie, because it was like I started writing this song during coronavirus times, and that movie was actually popular then.
Okay.
And the movie's about is, it's done before coronavirus actually, but the movie is like humanity is losing their senses one by one, and then at the end of the movie is just complete black. Is that then? It's a very traumatic movie actually. It's a very good
That
movie,
up. Yeah.
and it's like, everybody loses those senses one by one, one by one. And I was like, okay, I mean, that could be some entry point. Then I try to, think about it and how can I represent. So I kind of built that same, I mean, like every song is representing a loss of the sense, like a touch, vision, or,
Like sight,
breathing,
sight. Yeah.
smelling and so on. I mean, sorry, not breathing, smelling, hearing. So I kind of mapped these songs one by one to those, and it did the job actually, because it was the songs were actually kind of built. My writing procedure, I don't write the songs first based on the lyrics or something like that. I write them first, then I try to find the lyrics and fitting vocal lines or fitting lyrics on top of it. Maybe people does it differently, but then yeah, then that became the end result, which is and the on the album artwork you had this kind of a, there's this there's a popular drawing of Leonardo da Vinci. It's called Vitruvian Man, like showing the equality of a human, sizes from arms to legs. And I kind of used it. I made it a bit, let's say a bit uh, wasted or dead, you can say almost. And that was kind of representing that. So, meaning at the end of the album, after the last song, is all the senses are lost.
Yeah.
Humanity lost the planet Earth, and humanity is gone, and the planet Earth is gone. So that is kind of um, that was the message that I wanted to give. And there's like hidden things in every song, every lyrics, but every song represent a loss of a sense, which is metaphorically, represented by, for example, vision. I mean, blinded. It's very, straightforward. It's like loss of vision, and it talks about this, right of conduct. Sometimes you walk down the street, there's a guy sitting there dying on the street, but no one does about that. There is, this kind of ethical also, ethical points I also wanted to touch. It's progressing song by song. Let me put it that way. And the last
Yeah. No.
song is Castaways, the outro, and loss of love, actually, to me. And loss of touch, and metaphorically, it's loss of love, because touching is a very intimate feeling, and it's almost like if you love somebody, you would want to touch him, hug him, kiss him, etc., etc. So it build up on that direction, Scott. I don't know if
Yeah. No.
I
That's
hope it's
that's
not that
terrific.
complicated.
No, no, it's
Sorry.
not. It's a very interesting concept, because those things happen, and just like you're saying, nobody's aware of it,
Yeah,
and if they are, it's not all the time. They're not aware of it until someone says something about it, like you. Like this album. You're bringing that to light, and maybe it'll help change something. Maybe you never
maybe.
know. You never know.
Maybe. I mean, even if it's impacting one person, two
Mhm.
people, that is already a success, right? I
Is there
mean,
hints of personal experience in these songs also, other
no,
than
I
just the
just,
story?
yeah, of course, there are some personal experiences. I mean, in
You don't have
this
to
world.
mention them. I'm just asking. You know.
No. It's not like a traumatic or something secret that. I mean, overall experiences.
Right.
There are always some.
Human experience, right?
Yeah, there's always like shit people around the world. Unfortunately to say, I mean, maybe I'm a shit person to
I mean,
somebody else too. That could be,
yeah.
the
It's
problem.
a circle of life.
But everyone has experiences, and with people, with the culture, with the places they grew up, they live their life at. So, I mean, of course, there are some. It's more like, I wouldn't say a particular experience, but it's just a collection of all of those. And I wanted to, send a message with this album, also conceptually.
Sure. I think since you went ahead and explained Blinded, let's go ahead and listen to it.
Yeah, let's do that.
You want to do that? Okay, cool.
Yeah, let's go.
Now this song features the what's his name from Monuments, right?
Andy Cizek from Monuments. That's correct.
How do you say it?
Andy Cizek.
Andy Cizek. Yeah, that's
exactly.
Right. Andy Cizek.
Yeah.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. This song's the guitar work. I gotta compliment you on the guitar work throughout, because the guitar. You say that your main instrument's drums, but
yeah.
I think you have two main instruments, because this this is good stuff. I'm telling you.
Let's go.
All right,
Thanks, man.
rock it out. This is Blinded by Cevret. Here we go.
Can you see me now?
so eerie at the end. It's almost
Yep.
sad. It's almost just
Yes,
it's like all of that energy, and then all of a sudden, oh man, it's like
that is actually designed by purpose, Scott, because also if you listen to the other songs, all the songs have a darker ending
they do,
than,
yeah,
than the beginning.
like minor
And that
chords and
also
stuff. Yeah,
supports the concept as well, every song, because you lose a sense on throughout that song, and then it ends sad or dark in that
it's
manner.
so good. Yeah, I, I have a tough time explaining songs, but, which is what I'm supposed to do, I guess, on this show. But like, but it's just it's so emotional. You can feel the emotion and just there's anger happening, but it's like exciting anger, lots of energy, and then it just kind of it could be a sense of calming, but it's a sad calming though. But I like that dynamic. I love how that, because usually a lot of songs they'll build up to a certain point and just
Yeah,
out, and then they just stop, and you're just like, wait, where's the rest of it? But it
yeah.
just kind of it makes it's the perfect ending because it's calming, and it gets you ready for the next step.
Oh, thanks, man.
What's
Thanks.
happening the next time? Yeah, it's
Great to
badass.
hear that. Thank you. Thank you
Great
so much,
concept.
man. If you want
This
to see, the guitar work, and there's actually the
you do.
playthrough on YouTube available. I
Okay.
did a playthrough video there because there's a lot of guitar layers in the song,
Yeah.
which I really enjoyed. Like layering them up, but also my audio engineer, my friend Matthias, also did a great job layering those perfectly. And then you can hear almost all of them in the mix so clearly. So that is
Yeah.
that's like amazing. That was an amazing
So
job for him. But
did
you can
Andy
have a look.
did Andy do all of this the vocals in this? Did he-
Yeah, he did all the
oh,
vocals, but we wrote the vocals with Matthias together, so he just
sure.
basically performed what we asked for him to
But the
perform.
layering of the voice, so that's all him, right?
Yeah, he added
That's
some layers. I mean, we usually send also the layers as well, because especially with the growls, in some parts you need like like left, right, maybe a bit low end growls or sometimes high pitch growls. You just need to layer down. And we also do that design together with Matthias as well. That some parts are more powerful than a regular screaming throughout a verse, for example. So it's like there's this kind of concept. But he also added up his couple of his ideas and layers, which sounded perfect eventually.
sounds
So it
terrific.
was an amazing job from him too.
Have you, not to take away from the vocalist, but have you
Mhm.
thought about doing releasing as just instrumental
Yes,
also?
I will do that. I will do that I think in last week of August. It's gonna come out
Awesome.
as well because
Cool.
I have
Yeah.
also the instrumental, and I believe some people may wonder how it sounds as well because
Yeah.
that literally represents my thought process and writing process because there's nothing written on it vocal wise. Of course, when I write it, I also think about the vocals. That there must be some vocals here, there must be break, and there must be scream on that break. Then the breakdown can come in,
Can you do
etc.,
any of that
etc.
stuff vocally?
No,
Are you
I
vocally
mean,
inclined?
yeah, I can't growl 3 seconds, then I lose my voice. Well, that's
Yeah,
my
I can't figure it
limit.
out either. I don't know how
But
they do
I
it.
I can sing clean vocals for sure, but then in a professional level. So it's just
Like in the
as a
shower, in the car,
yeah,
things
in
like
the shower, at home, and sometimes I record
that.
some small ideas and snippets and so
Yeah,
on, but not like a professionally. That's why I never wanted to get into that, and I wanted to work with other vocalists and other people that they can represent my ideas there.
that's
So that,
awesome. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. That's just okay. That's great. Well,
Thanks, man.
I want to go ahead and do this segment. We'll kind of break up the music and for a little bit. But
Mhm.
I used to, you escaped the last segment that I used to do because now I talk
Mhm.
about landmarks and things like that in
Yeah.
different locations in other countries and other states and things. But you escaped the hot dog segment. I used to talk about wieners and hot dogs during this time, and yeah,
Okay.
I did it for a year and a half, and it was interesting for sure. But it was an idea from a friend, and
Mhm.
it worked for a while, and it was funny. And actually, just here's a little a side note. At the end of July 27th, celebrating 4 years of the show. So
Oh,
I always do like a
congrats, man.
special. Thank you. Every year I do a special show at the end of July and just kind of mark the occasion. I get previous guests to come on and last year the whole screen was just filled with previous guests and I had a few people here and
That's
it's a
cool.
lot of fun. We just had a little party and talk about the funniest things that happened of the year or overall even. Well, speaking of the hot dogs, there's a band in Florida called Within a Reverie, and they were on a few times because they came on as a guest, and then they releasing an album, so they wanted to come on and do it on the show, so we did that then. And I think they were on what was was it a special show? I don't know, I can't remember, but they came on again just for like I think it was the 250 show. I don't know, it was something like that. But the guitar player Saeed, he had a hot dog costume that was like a Halloween costume. So he was dressed as a hot dog.
Okay.
So I talked to him last night. I said, "Will you guys come on the 4 year show, and hang out?" And they said, "Yeah." And I said I wouldn't be. I would love to see that hot dog costume again. That would be terrific. It'd be epic. So they like that they like that message, but they didn't say yes or no. But I think you'll see it. You'll see it. But that shows at 4 p.m. Eastern, which is what time? How far ahead are you go from here?
I think we have 6 hours,
6 hours.
difference.
Well,
We have 6 hours
and you can
ahead.
join if you want. Any previous guest from
Sure.
or ever.
Sure. Just I would yeah, it would be nice.
I'll
Yeah,
send you some
me out,
info
man.
if you're available. But yeah, so you escaped I started this new segment at the beginning of the year. I just needed to change something. I got a new logo and website and things like that. So I just needed to change up a little bit. So
Sure.
it's been very interesting the things that are in different places that you don't hear about. Like, we talked about the Alps, the Swiss Alps, and people go to the Alps to ski and stuff. Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
People look that stuff up online. So there's some things online you can't find, and only people that live there know it exists, or it could be anything, and it can be in the entire country of Switzerland. It doesn't even have to be like Zurich, right?
Yeah.
Do you want me to start, or do you want to start? Because I found something really interesting. That
You start first, then, or I can start. I don't. It's up to you, Scott. You start first, and let's hear what did you
I'm
hear
very
about it.
interested
I
if you know
can
what-
validate that, huh?
Hopefully, yeah. I made a mistake when I had a band on from Finland recently last week, and I did you see that? Did you see my mistake?
No, was it in Sweden? Swedish
No,
band?
no,
It was
it
the
was-
Alps thing.
No, they were from no. This was different. They were from Finland, and then they were from Helsinki, and
Okay.
and I swore that I was looking up Sydney, Australia, also because I was talking to a band in Sydney, and there's a Rubik's Cube on the beach in Sydney. Well, I thought my mind was all screwed up, and I thought it was in Helsinki. So I was trying to convince them that there was a Rubik's Cube on the beach there in Helsinki, and it wasn't even there. So that was nice. Hey, I can't do everything,
Yeah.
Okay, this is there's actually. Was there a couple of them? I think there was a couple of them. There was a museum I found, and then there was a statue I found. Okay, the statue is I don't know how to say it, but I'll spell it for you. It's Heureka is the first word, and then so it's that word, and then useless machine after that. It's just this big statue. It says one of a series of no-purpose kinetic artworks by a Swiss sculptor Jean Tinguely or something. I don't know how to say foreign things. Very good.
Is it the you said HU or BU? You said
Heureka, useless machine. And it's
okay. Yes, I know.
You see
it
a
is.
picture?
Okay.
I mean, it's. Have you seen this in person?
Yes, there is another one which is I think I can guess your other guess. This is this purposeless, it's like no purpose, like a sculpture. And there is another museum which is nothing museum. There is just blank, like pictures, like white papers and black papers.
It's not that, but that's interesting.
It's not that one. Okay,
no.
That's another one.
This one is now this one's going to be hard to say, but it has museum after it, but it's MOULAGEN museum. It's MOULAGEN. Museum dedicated to wax representations of disfiguring diseases.
This one I didn't know. Okay,
I would go to this. I don't know why I would go to it, but I would go to just to say I went. But I mean, it's dedicated specifically. I don't know that word.
Let me. The,
Meluges, or something like that. Let me look it up here. Um, Meluge. There's no definition for it. Meluge, Molag. I don't know. I don't know how to say it.
I
Second
mean,
largest collection of those, after the one in France. Um, Contains many wax representations of diseases such as cancer, syphilis, and leprosy.
okay.
Prior to color photography and advanced plastics technology, they were indispensable tools for sharing medical and scientific knowledge. So I guess it was important at some point, but I don't know about a museum for these things. I mean, it's like, you've never heard of that place?
No, I never heard of that place,
I don't know if
unfortunately.
I would
But
go
I
to the.
heard another museum. You have to check that out. It's
Okay.
you have to go there,
What's
and
that one called?
it's
What's it called?
nothing museum.
It's just
You
called
know,
Nothing?
it's yes. I mean,
What?
it's
That's
just
all they can come
amazing.
up with? No, let's see.
Because it
Yeah.
represents. I think they were saying like everything lasts, nothing stays, or something like that. That's kind of the concept. And it's just like blank pictures or like just frames and stuff around the museum. It's just, yeah, it's
Nothing.
pretty cool.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Well, okay. This one's interesting. This one's it's just suitcase. It said it may look like a businessman's lost luggage. This case suspended under a highway bridge is actually a contemporary art installation. It's just a suitcase hanging under a bridge. Have you seen that?
Yeah,
Okay. See
exactly.
that
Yeah.
that's why now you must tell me
I
things
have
I
to
can't
tell you
find like that.
something. It's not a
Okay.
museum or something like that,
All
but
right.
it's
That's
just
fine.
more like about living in Switzerland. Huh? So
Okay.
in here, after 10 p.m., it could be problematic to flush the toilet. So
Okay.
in
Why?
some areas,
That's odd.
it could be, you could also get, like, I mean, it's not illegal. It's what is illegal in Switzerland is that you can't disturb your neighbors after 10 p.m. until 6 a.m. or something like that. But in some areas, this goes a bit further down the road, and you can't flush your toilet after 10 p.m. or you can't even
Why?
take shower. Yeah, because the flushing is a kind of a noisy
Oh,
activity.
come on. Jeez.
I'm not joking.
If you have to shit at 11 p.m., you can't flush it
You have
until
a
the next morning.
problem. Yeah, I mean, you may have a problem with that.
So
I
you
mean,
need to
it's
like
not like illegal, as I said,
yeah.
but there are people
What?
that could make problem out of this, and you could just
Okay, have you done
find.
it? Have you done it though?
I done it. I mean, it's if mostly
Of
I
course you
don't
have.
mind because it depends on, if it's then like it depends on the neighborhood. It depends on, I don't know, building. If it's sometimes they're old buildings,
You
or
guys
if
must
it's
have
the.
louder toilets than we do then, because
Yeah, I mean, if the isolation is not good and so on, I mean, you may have more problems than
that's
that. But I mean,
that's crazy.
there are
Like, will people
cases
yell
like
at you
this.
if you
So.
do it though? If you do it after 10 p.m. and somebody hears it, will they come and knock on your door like, "Hey, you're not supposed to
Stop
fucking,"
it.
yeah. Don't take no shits after 10 p.m.
Yes.
I've
No, I mean, I had never had it personally. I
never
never
heard of it.
experienced that, but I know it's
Is
been
it a law? Can you be
experienced.
fined for it? Can you be fined,
I
or is
think
it
if
just
you make it intentionally, you could get fined. Yes, if
if
you
you do it
make
over and
it.
over again, like one after the other?
Yeah, exactly. One after another. And if you have a bit of a
So
dispute with your neighbor and so on. No?
if you have like a full band practice in your living room, they don't care after 10 p.m. But if you flush the
Yeah.
toilet, damn it, you're fined.
Yes, that's correct, man.
I've
I
never
mean,
heard.
this is residential areas in Stone. The idea over there is just you are so well like protected by law or by the that you have your freedom to rest, or that 10
Yeah.
p.m. to 6 a.m. I mean, you could be at the end of the other side too. I mean, a neighbor is shitting and I'm trying to sleep at the same time, right? I mean, I'm
I
not
mean,
I'm
that's
I'm not extreme of that, but
well. I
what
guess
I'm
yeah.
saying, the logic behind is that, I'm
If
just
you and
trying
the
to
neighbor are
explain the
shitting at the
logic.
same time, you could flush at the same time, and then everybody would be
Exactly.
good. Everybody would be fine.
Exactly. Yes, why not? That is
That's
possible. You
funny.
just need to sync that very,
Oh
like.
goodness, that's yeah. All right, what else you got? You have another one? That's just crazy.
um
I'm definitely gonna clip that out and use that
I
for a
mean,
clip for the show.
yeah, I think that's kind of the one. I mean, it's kind of the one that I always, tell people. Of course, there's a lot of
It's
things
just,
here,
I
but
mean, there's a lot of like crazy
it's
old
weird
walls.
stuff. I mean, here, in Switzerland, you have like four official languages, for example. I don't know if you know about that, but there's this German part, this French part, this
I
Italian
didn't know that.
part. So I mean, you literally go from one side of the country, from I don't know, from Zurich, for example, the German-speaking city. You take a train 2 hours, you go to Geneva or Lausanne. I mean, Geneva is a bit far, but Lausanne, for example, they speak French. It's a French-speaking area, and everything changes around you. You know,
It's like going to
the
another country,
lights.
man.
Yeah, it's like a going in another country. And then you just go down south. You know, you cross through the Alps. You know, then there is like a Italian region very close to Italy, an
Okay.
area there, and they speak Italian there. And then I mean, even because like you know from north to south you travel and there's the Alps in between and the completely natural like view is also changing. It's a completely different experience. I mean, the United Nature is different, architecture is different, language is different, but it's still Switzerland. No, it's just
That's crazy.
it's crazy. No, it's
Now,
just
now
like
we
a
there's one question I had about this. Might be just a U.S. thing because a lot of things we have that are named aren't really from that country. You know, like okay, so I personally like it a lot, but there's a cheese called Swiss cheese that we
yeah.
eat. That's probably has nothing to do with Switzerland, does it? Or does it?
No, it does a lot. I mean,
Does it?
Switzerland.
Okay, good. I'm
In
not that dumb.
Switzerland, there is like I mean,
Swiss
we
cheese.
have quite a lot of cheese, and it's not only one cheese, by the way. The
Yeah,
Swiss
well, yeah.
cheese is
For
like
us, it's just one cheese.
there's like
It's
hundreds
ones
of
with the holes in
different.
them.
Yeah, but yes, but that is just one type of cheese in Switzerland. There's like
Okay.
hundreds of different. You go to a, you know, I don't know, like you have Walmart or something like that. I
Yeah,
don't know what
yeah.
is
You
the
guys, yeah, I'm
or
sure there's Walmart there, right?
yeah, I mean, we don't have Walmart, but there is another one here which is called Migros. Let's say you
Okay.
go there and then it's just a shopping, you know, place. I mean, you just get grocery
Get
shop, huh?
everything. Yeah,
Yeah,
everything
I
you
mean,
want.
then you have a cheese like a, I don't know, a cheese stand where you have like
Yeah.
you know, tons of different types of cheese, and they're all like, you know, made in somewhere, some part of
Are you a
Switzerland, huh?
cheese consumer? Do you like cheese?
I do consume. I like it. It's not like every morning or every day or something like that. But
Yeah.
when I then there's cheese around. Yeah, why not? And some
I
of
mean,
them, they taste really good, but some of them smell really bad.
yeah.
I mean, I
There's.
can tell you, really smell. I mean,
I used
really
to.
bad. You
I
know?
used to work in a French restaurant in the kitchen, right? And we would have a daily cheese selection. You know, it was an appetizer. It was very expensive because it was very expensive cheese, like imported
Yeah.
cheese. And there was one like the name of it was really long. I couldn't even tell you what it was, but everybody in the kitchen called it stinky cheese because it
Yeah.
stunk so. It was good, like you tasted it, it was really good, but
Yeah.
man, it
Yeah.
it smelled like a fart. You know,
Yes.
that's or worse. You know, it was just, but it was so
That is
expensive
normal.
because it was
Yes.
imported, and I can't remember, probably
That's
from France.
correct. I mean,
Yeah.
here you have that too. I mean, there is always this heavy. I mean, sometimes my experience, I don't think it's a rule or something like that, but the stinkier the cheese is, the you know, the better it tastes. So somehow, in some cases, not all the time,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
mostly. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I know I got away from the hot dog segment thing, but you know, I do like to learn about what people eat in other countries, especially.
Mhm.
But what's the main dish you think of Switzerland? Like, what's the most popular that's just
I
there, like
mean,
not something from around the world?
there's fondue here, which
Mhm.
is you
Just
know,
melted cheese, really, right?
yeah, it's melted and it's just you basically melt the cheese in a pot. You know, then you just dip in some, you know, small pieces of bread and then just you know have it. And there's different type of this fondue. There's a bit meat version, there's a bit, I don't know, truffles, there's a
Oh, they
different
have
type of
meat
cheese.
meat
Yeah,
fondue.
there is some. Yeah, it's like a Chinese fondue, they call
Okay,
it here, because Chinese have this hot pot concept, which is not cheese, which is just broth and like water, huh? Like a
okay, yeah.
soup.
Mhm.
And kind of similar to that, you know, sometimes there are some meat versions as well, but mostly it's the just cheese version. So it's actually like melted cheese, and you dip in
Yeah,
the bread, and you had it, and next to it you have some like pickles and like small onions and small
yeah.
cucumbers and this
So
kind
that's
of
kind of like
things, you know.
and everywhere you go, they pretty much have that.
I mean, the most probably the most Swiss food. I mean, I can tell there's more stuff around too, because I mean,
Yeah.
Switzerland is also in the middle of Europe, so there's also a lot of influences. Like there's something called Schnitzel, right? I mean,
Oh,
that's also
schnitzel, yeah.
here. Yeah, Schnitzel in Austria, Germany, also. I mean, also it's being consumed here, but also here, people in Switzerland, I would say the people love meat. You know, the meat is just you know, it's like a steak or, you know,
Oh, I love steak. Yeah,
with some vegetables and a bit of potato, you know, mash or something
yeah.
like that, you know.
So similar,
That is
similar,
also,
similar to us then. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Steak and
we
potatoes.
have quite a lot of meat here. I think it's a meat eating country overall. I would say that.
I just last weekend I was at a wedding in Nashville, and my buddy
Mhm.
got married, and they're vegans, so there was no meat
Mm.
whatsoever at the reception.
There was no animal products as well. It's
Nothing,
not. I
no,
mean, it's
nothing.
vegan, right? It's
Yeah,
okay.
just no meat and the and no dairy either. So like they had a charcuterie board, like
Mhm.
cheeses and stuff, and it was cashew cheese.
Oh,
I
okay.
guess they used. I just learned this. Our bass player is
Yeah.
actually vegan, so he was telling me about that. He was telling me they use cashews in a lot of things to take place of the dairy. I guess.
Yeah, and here as well in Switzerland, there's a lot of I think vegetarian and vegan. There's a good population of those.
Hmm.
And usually you go. I mean, you have meat like vegetarian meat. It's
Yeah,
like made out of
and plant,
soybeans or something like that.
or plants. Yeah, the plant. They have like plant
A lot of
burgers and stuff.
versions like that, even like sausages and stuff like this.
Yeah,
For vegan. But yeah, I have
yeah.
a
So
couple
there,
of vegan
I was
friends,
having a
vegan
hard time with
vegetarian
no
friends.
meat thing there. I was,
Yeah,
and I gotta have that meat,
yeah, yeah,
But
exactly, man. And
it was
yeah.
it was an '80s hair metal wedding though, so
Ah,
everybody was
okay.
dressed up like the '80s. It was a lot of fun.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Actually, he'll be up here. He's coming up. He's from here. We graduated high school together, but
Mhm.
him and his new wife and her daughter will be up here this the first week of July. So we might do something on the show a little bit. He was the very first guest, and he's been a big part of the show. So I try not to bother him with it much because he's paid his dues on here.
Yeah, that
So
sounds
we'll
cool.
jam a little bit. He's an actor and musician, so
Oh,
he does a lot of things and he's a very interesting fella. So there's a couple clips up on Instagram if you want to see a little bit of the wedding festivities. I still
sure.
haven't looked up this Nothing thing here. I need to look up Nothing Museum. I have it in front of me, but I haven't typed it yet. Nothing Museum. Nothing Museum. Should I put Zurich maybe after it?
Yeah, you can put. I think if I'm not,
There
or
it is.
let me see
Yeah.
if I'm.
There's one called No Show Museum.
No show museum.
Is
Sorry,
that what it's
sorry.
called?
I made it wrong. It's
That's
no
all right.
show museum.
It
It's
came right up.
nothing museum. Yeah,
Google's very smart.
yeah. Sure, sure.
It's
I kind of.
devoted. It's devoted to nothing and its various manifestations throughout the history of art.
Yes.
Have you been there? Have you been to it?
Yes, I've been to
I don't
it,
even know
but
if I
many
would pay
years
to go in
ago.
that place if there's nothing in there. You know what I mean?
I mean, there is
Over 500
there
works
is
and documents.
there's our
Jesus,
artistic expression to it too. It's just you need to go
that's
and experience
out
that.
of the
I would
world
say.
tour.
It sounds dull, but I think it's okay. I mean, it's not the best museum ever, but
It
yeah.
says it says the No Show Museum has committed itself to the mission of not spreading anything all over the globe.
Yes, exactly. So that's why it's so funny. I love it. Just
I
love
mean,
it.
it's I want to see like one of the nothings. It's a present. I guess they do. I don't know what they do. Okay. I'll read about that later.
And I don't think a lot of people in Switzerland knows about that because it's a small, very small
I think
museum,
they
and
need
it's
to.
just the conceptually so funny, and
Yeah,
just because
nothing.
that's why I know it's just but I don't think it's a popular museum overall.
Well, I
And I
mean,
wanted to,
there's
give
nothing
you that.
there, so yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't,
exactly. There's nothing there. Exactly.
what do you go look at? The wall? I mean, I can do that at home. That's
That's good.
yeah. I'll get on there later and look at nothing. Hey, and then when if somebody texts me or calls me, and says, well, hey, what are you doing? Nothing. You know what I mean?
Nothing. Exactly. Yeah.
Then I'm not lying.
Nothing.
I'm
Yeah.
definitely not doing anything. Let's go ahead and listen to the next song.
Let's do that.
This is my personal favorite. You wanted me to pick the next one, and I
Yes.
mean I like all of them. I really do. I like all of them. The concept of the album is terrific, and it flows very very well together. And you could listen to it out of order, but to experience it and the story and everything, you just want to listen to it all the way through. It's so. But this is the last song. Tell us a little bit about this one and what the
Yeah.
idea was with this and how you were able to end it, and be satisfied with the ending.
Yeah, this one is like it's called Castaway. And it's the loss of touch. That's the sense which is being represented. And as I just mentioned before, it's about love, loss of emotions, and that we try to a bit, dramatize the lyrics. Like one being not loved by somebody else, or feeling, cast away about that, like being left out, etc. And I mean, then the lyrics came out again. I mean, thanks to my friend Matthias. He also sang the song, by the way. He came out with the whole vocal lines on this one. I have probably the least contribution when it comes to vocal lines. He came one day and said, dude, I wrote the vocal lines and everything for Castaway, and I was completely blown away. But yeah, I mean, I wanted to have a bit of an epic and very, very emotional song because it's the last song, it's the closure. It's almost like I wanted to state that, yeah, I mean, everything now ends, right? The whole thing, everything ends, and it collapses down to a point, and then eventually just swelling out of uh, out of your playlist or wherever you listen to that. Because then again, there is an outro, like a bit of a longer outro, but I wanted to have that very emotional, epic, epic wise, like big choruses and big outros on this song. So it's a bit a long one, but it's the most progressive one, in my opinion. I mean, the others are also progressive too, but in this one, there's a lot of metric changes, I'm not metric modulations, but there's quite a lot of changes when it comes to. There's one part which is like a 7/8 kind of thing. There's a solo over it and so on. And that's the only one that there is a solo, guitar solo in that sense. So there's a lot of the first ones in the song. And this song is a bit old idea that I had, and I just wanted to make it, a full song out of it. And it turned out really nice, and I'm happy about that. And it's one of the most emotional ones in the album.
Yeah,
Let's put it that way.
it's a terrific song, and like I said, I love all of them, but this one kind of just the way it flows is just it's my favorite one off the
Oh man, thank you, man. Thanks.
This is
Great
off
to
the newest or the new EP, Sensus.
Yeah. Yes.
And this is the last song on the EP. Go check out the EP, the whole thing, and listen to it all the way through. Just one time. Just listen, and then you'll go back and you'll listen to it again, because that's what I did. I was like, oh, wait, there's more to, okay. So I want to hear all of it. I want to hear, you hear certain things, that you didn't hear the first time. This is Castaway, and this is Badass. go check out this album because I'm telling you, this is the shit. It's and you don't have to look at the lyrics. You know, I'm the kind of person that has to I have to read the lyrics. I can't tell what people are saying sometimes, but well, actually most of the time. But you know, it's emotional, you know, but in a good way because you look at life at a different perspective, you know, and it may change the way you do things. It may not, but it's such a great concept, man. It's a really good concept, and the music just is right there with it. You know, it just you nailed it. You nailed it. You know.
Thanks, man. I mean,
sure.
I'm super happy to hear that from you.
Yeah, man.
It means a lot. You know? It means a lot.
Sure. For sure. Very good stuff. Well, come back to the show. I know you're gonna have to do a part 2, right? Of this EP.
Yeah, let's do the part 2.
Yeah, do a part 2.
I already started on the new album, by the way.
There you go. Yeah.
Why not? You know, I mean, maybe we can do another one. But I would be glad to be here, man. I mean, you're such a great host.
Come back, and you know, we'll talk about Swiss cheese again and stinky cheese and
stinky cheese, yeah.
and maybe we'll just talk about nothing. You know, we could do that.
Yeah, we can do that too. I mean, we just do nothing, right?
We'll see how many times you violated the toilet flushing ordinance, and you know, things like that. And yeah, if you want to come in on the 4-year show in July, we'd love to have you here, and it'll just be a bunch of people, and
sure, man.
you'll be able to. It's just a fun time. I can never tell you what it's going to be because it's just we just talk about nothing.
Let's do that. I would gladly be here. I would.
For sure,
gladly.
That's awesome, man. I'll send you over the log and all the information for that.
Sure, man.
Later on, but yeah, I mean, it's been a pleasure talking to you and learning about Switzerland and I had it right. The Alps are definitely there. They're not in Sweden. They're in Switzerland. So
yes,
it was nice to finally get that. You know,
I mean, it's all over Europe, actually. France, Switzerland, Italy, and Austria.
More known in Switzerland.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
I don't know why I was thinking Sweden. I was just all over the place. I don't know.
No problem.
I've never. Have you ever been to the United States? Have you ever been over here?
No, not at all. Actually,
well, come on over and bring the band and bring everybody that was a vocalist on that, and just we'll have a big tour.
That would be amazing, actually. That would be amazing. That'd
be awesome. Yes. Yeah, the album's terrific. I can't say enough about it. It's a very good story, and I encourage everyone to go listen to it because it's worth it. It's well worth it.
Thanks, man.
See, I'm going to a show tonight. Here in a few after we finish here, and I'm going up to Youngstown, Ohio, to Westside Bowl. It's a bowling alley. And they have two kind of venues. They have a downstairs venue, it's a little bit smaller, but upstairs is the bowling alley, the bowling lanes, and then you look to the right and there's a massive stage with raging. You know, it's kind of surreal, but it's badass. There's actually 7 bands playing tonight.
Ooh.
But I will not be up there for. I won't make it in time for the early bands, but I know a few of them, seen a few of them, and I probably won't stay for the headliner because I have another show tomorrow, another interview tomorrow with Moonwards in Helsinki. So we'll be going to Finland for the 7th time. I've done 7 different bands from Finland. And it's completely different than any of the other 6. They are more of a shoegaze band.
Oh, okay.
Finland, the other 6 bands have been like metal in your face, like I'll punch you right now, but I'll do it in a nice way kind of music, you know. But so it's going to be different. And my friend Tom that lives in London, he co-hosts with me, and he was actually on the show a long time ago as a guest. He's been on a couple times as a guest because he plays music and stuff. But he co-hosts with me usually when I do bands in Europe. And unfortunately he couldn't be on today. He had to work. So yeah. But next time we'll get him on here with us, and you can meet him. But he will be on with me tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern with Moonwards in Helsinki and Tom in London. So that'll be fun. So that's why I can't really stay for the entire thing. It's about 2.5 hours up to Youngstown, but not too bad of a drive. So that's where I'll be this evening, and I probably won't do any footage. But it's Amplifiers is who I'm going to see. That's the name of the band is Amplifiers.
Oh,
and
okay.
And the guitar player Dean is moving to England, and is not going to be a part of Amplifiers anymore. So I definitely wanted to make it to the show to wish him well and see them. I haven't seen them play for quite a while, and they're getting ready to release a new album too. So that's going to be awesome. It's been quite a while. Do I have that? Where do I have? I have their album here somewhere. Their first album came out on like it was like a DVD case, but it was somebody had connections to a place that recycles these. They live in Pittsburgh. Somebody had a connection to a place they recycled DVD cases. Well, but it was porn DVDs. So they got a hold of all of those, and that's how they released their album. I have it somewhere. I have that stuff laying around everywhere. So I will go up and see Amplifiers this evening and wish Dean farewell. So hopefully Dean can join us for at the end of July too from England. That'd be awesome. So yeah, join us then. Join us tomorrow, and I have another band I just booked, Stray Soul. That'll be not till July 13th. I can't remember the time. I think it's an earlier in the day, but we'll talk to them. They're from. Well, one's from Arkansas and one's from Indiana. So that'll be, I'll get to mark off Arkansas off the list of states. So milestones all the time.
Yeah. Yes, milestones. Yes.
Crazy. I can't keep track of all these freaking milestones. But and you're episode 276. So the next one after, depending on how this goes.
I was going to ask you, what is
I might
that
hit 300 before the 4-year show,
Is it the 276 interview? Oh,
yeah.
Holy man, congrats. That's crazy. Okay, I need to remember
we can
276.
We can do that. But that's praise for the guests though. That's not praise for me. That's praise for the guests. Because I mean, I wouldn't have 276 if I didn't have 276 guests. So,
that's crazy, man.
We'll do it. We'll do it again. We'll do it again at the end of
Let's
August.
Do that.
For the instrumental.
Let's do that.
I'm gonna play us out of the show with a band I'm gonna go see on July 3rd up in Akron, Ohio, which is a little bit farther than Youngstown. Okay, just watch your ears for a minute. This is the only screaming that I really do. Okay. The Undertaking, and I'm the only one that does that because the Undertaking's their title has an exclamation point at the end, and that's what the English language says that you're supposed to be excited.
Yes.
I'm the only one that does this out of everybody. I don't know why, but it needs. So I just keep doing it. They don't tell me to stop. So anyway, they were on the show a couple years ago, and I went and saw them. Met them in person. They're from San Diego. I met them in person in Ohio last year. Was it last year? Year before? Something like that. Anyway, they're coming back east again, and they're going to be touring with God's Eyes, which is from Long Island, and that's who we're going to listen to play us out of the show.
Let's do that.
Go check out The Undertaking also. Well, hold on. Go check out The Undertaking also because they're really. It's just. Well, you heard some of it. You heard some of it. It's in your face, and so is God's Eyes. I can't wait to meet them. But we'll listen to Memories in Blue, and I'm going to head to Youngstown in a little bit. If you have like 5 minutes, I'll talk to you right after I kill the live stream.
Sure. Sure. Cool. Let's do that, man.
All right. Here's God's Eyes with Memories in Blue. Cevret, thank you so much for being on. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks, God. Thanks for having me, man.
For sure. And we'll see everybody else tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern with Moonwards from Helsinki, Finland. That's Finland. No Alps there. Okay. All right.